All right, shalom, shalom. First and foremost, before I get started, I'd like to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chakodash, and double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that has taught us this truth and sincerity. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect that is scattered throughout the four corners of earth. Shalom, shalom. This your brother Kodash coming back at you with another lesson. All right, this is a lunch. This is a lunch break. All right, lesson. And so it's not going to be too long, but this came to me, while I was on the floor. All right, here at work. Okay, and this topic is going into you cannot run from your purpose, / your lot. And I'm centering this around pretty much, the prophets, us that's teaching this truth. The Lord has given us a portion of the Spirit. All right, He has allotted unto us, different talents. Okay, and if it's your lot, okay, to be a prophet and to prophesy and to teach, okay, and to go out and warn our people, you're gonna do just that. Okay, you can't help but to prophesy, man. Okay, you can't help but to teach. Okay, so I'm gonna jump it off right here. I got a couple of precepts. All right, I'm gonna just try to get a couple and just make the point. Okay, pretty much just centered around you cannot run from your lot. You cannot run from your purpose. Okay, and us that's in this truth, our purpose is to teach and warn our people. Okay, the Israelites, you so-called blessed Hispanics, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Okay, to turn back unto Yahweh Shemah Shah, power before it's too late. Okay, and to also go out and be a prophet unto the nations, tell them their judgment, okay, concerning the scriptures on how they're going into captivity for what they've done unto us, for all of the wrong, for all of the ill dealings that they've done unto us, is going to be done back unto them. You see, so we have a portion of the Spirit, and the Lord is expecting a return on his investment, man. Okay, because He's giving us these talents. You see, okay. So I'm gonna get right into it. Like I said, the title is "You Cannot Run from Your Purpose," / your lot. Okay. So going into it, this is Jeremiah. What's that? Real quick, Jeremiah 20:7. Okay, let's jump there real quick. Because pretty much Jeremiah, he was prophesying unto our people. Okay, and it just got to the point where he got irritated, and he thought, okay, well, just fuck it then. I'm not even gonna teach unto them no more. Okay, because they was rebellious. They was coming up against him. They wanted to do harm unto him, and he thought maybe shit. I ain't gonna say nothing. But it goes on to say right here in Jeremiah 20 and verse 7, it says, "O Lord Yahweh, thou hast deceived me, and I was deceived. Thou art stronger than I, and hast prevailed. I am in derision daily. Everyone mocketh me." You see, everyone was mocking Jeremiah. You see, and that's the resistance that you get, especially when you coming into this truth and you teaching and you standing boldly, okay, out on the highways and hedges for Yahweh Shemah Shai. You're gonna have people that's gonna mock and scoff. You see, all right. But it says in verse 8, "For since I spake, I cried out. I cried violence and spoil, because the word of the Lord was made a reproach unto me, and a derision daily." And it says in verse 9, Then I said, I will not make mention of him, nor speak any more in his name. But his word was in mine heart," meaning mind. Okay, the Hebrew word for heart is lab, man. Going back to your mind, it says, "As a burning fire shut up in my bones, and it says, and I was weary with forbearing, and I could not stay," meaning that he could not hold the word of the Lord. Okay, you see, it was in him as a burning flame, man. You see, so he thought maybe, look, I ain't gonna say nothing, but look, his purpose overtook it. You see, his purpose overtook him. Okay, you see, we were sent here, Lord willing, I brought this out, we're of that number. We were sent here to prophesy and to teach, man. Okay, to condemn this place, Babylon the Great, aka America. Okay, we were sent here to do that, man. Okay, and by any means necessary, if the Spirit is dealing with us, we're gonna do just that. Okay, we're gonna speak that which the Lord give us, man. Okay. So let me get another one. Okay, because Amos, all right, Amos was another one. This is Amos 7 and 12. Let's get it. Amos 7 and 12 real quick. This is Amos chapter 7 and verse 12. And it says also, Amaziah said unto Amos, O thou seer, go flee away into the land of Judah, and there eat bread and prophesy there. But prophesy not again any more at Bethel. For it is the king's chapel, and it is the king's court. And it says in verse 14, then answered Amos and said to Amaziah, I was no prophet, neither was I a prophet's son, but I was a herdman. Okay. And it says, and a gatherer of the sycamore fruit. You see? So Amos was like, look, I wasn't a prophet, you know. I didn't come from a family of prophets. You see? I'm gonna read that again. And it says in verse 14, then answered Amos and said to Amaziah, I was no prophet, neither was I a prophet's son. You see? And it says, but I was a herdman and a gatherer of the sycamore fruit. And it says in verse 15, and the Lord Yahweh took me as I followed the flock. And the Lord Yahweh said unto me, go, prophesy unto my people Israel. You see? And what are we supposed to say? You see? And that's what we do week in and week out, pursuant to second Esdras. Okay? Second Esdras 15 and 1. All right, it says, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people. Who is the Lord's people? You Israelites, so-called Black, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Okay? And it says, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy. You see, the words of prophecy, man. What is prophecy? Okay, it goes back to the Hebrew word nabah, to say or speak before. Okay, things happen in the earth. You see, all right, and that's the lot that the Lord has placed upon His prophets, man. Okay, to always come in these different reincarnations and speak about things that's going to happen before they ever happen, man. Okay. You see, and it says, which I will put in thy mouth. All right, Matthew 10 and 20. All right, it's not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaketh within you. Okay, you see, so the Lord is speaking through us, man. You see, all right, and that's why we're not able to contain, man. Okay, we're gonna do that which the Lord has allotted us to do. And it says, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai. And it says, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true, speaking about the scriptures, okay, because they're going to come to pass, man, at their appointed times. It says, fear not the imaginations against thee, you see. And it says, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. Just like what Jeremiah was going through. Jeremiah, okay, he was dealing with, mockers and scoffers of our people that was talking shit, okay, because they didn't believe, you see. But even like in these times, man, like it's finna say in verse 4, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness, you see. And, you see, so the Lord, all right, He has judgments prepared for our people that don't have faith in Him, man. Okay. You see, because scriptures say that in Hebrews, that it's impossible to please Him without faith. It is impossible to please Him. You see, so if you don't have faith, especially for you Israelites, you so-called Black, Hispanics, Latinos, and Native American Indians, okay, you're not pleasing unto the Lord. Okay, you see, all right, and like He says, for all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness. You see, so going back to the topic at hand, okay, I'm gonna close with this. This is 1 Corinthians 9 and 16. Okay, I'm gonna close right here. 1 Corinthians 9 and verse 16, and it says, for though I preach the gospel, which the gospel is the good news, okay, and it says, I have nothing to glory of. Right, we have nothing to glory of, man, because hey, what we have received, you see, key word, what we have received, we have been given it from Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. Okay, scripture says man can receive nothing unless it be given him from above. Okay, so we don't take no glory or credit in nothing, man. Okay, because just as well as the Lord has given us, okay, this beautiful gift, this truth, He can take it away, man. Okay, all right. And it says, for necessity is laid upon me. Yea, woe, meaning destruction, is unto me if I preach not the gospel. You see? All right? So woe unto us if we preach not the gospel, man, the good news, man, about the kingdom of heaven to our people, going out and warning them whether they hear or whether they forbear, man, getting the bloods off our hand, man. Okay? So, pretty much, man, just, wrapping it up. This is the title of the lesson. You cannot run from your purpose, your lot, okay? And I'm pretty much gearing it towards the men of the Lord, the prophets, okay? The Lord's elect. All right, they were already predestinated to come on the earth and fulfill those lots as prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. All right, some of them, whether it meant for them to be put to death, okay, they was gonna do what the Lord sent them to do, no matter what, okay. So just throwing that out there, man. Like, look, we can't run from our purpose, man. If we're men of the Lord. Okay, the Lord is gonna design our life to where you can't run from your purpose, man. Okay, just like with the account with Jonah, he tried to run from his purpose and he ended up getting swallowed by a fish. And the Lord spoke to the fish and had the fish vomit him back up, all right, from what he was originally trying to run from, man. And that's from going to Nineveh, man. Okay, because we know our people, they don't want to listen for the most part. They hard-headed, they talk shit, they resist us, and they hard to deal with. But hey, the Lord said in Ezekiel, warned them whether they would hear or whether they would forbear, for they are a rebellious house, you see. So, to obey is better than sacrifice, man. We obey what the Lord told us to do. That way the blood is off our hands. That way when the Lord brings their judgment, they can't say they wasn't warned. So I'm going to close it out right there, Lord willing. This lesson was edifying to the point. In closing, I'm going to give our honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. And double honors to the elders and the apostles, great millstone that has taught us truth and sincerity. Peace and blessings to the hopefully elect that is scattered throughout the four corners of earth. Shalom, shalom.